November 18th, Elon Musk spoke at the National Academic Space Studies Board. There are many things that haven't changed since the last presentation. Starship will still be able to lift 100 tons to low Earth orbit and put a large amount of people or mass anywhere in the solar system. Elon also emphasized the importance of the Starship program and making sure that this is done fast. He said the window for opportunity may be open for a while or it may not be. Just in case it isn't open for long, we have to act with haste. Another thing that he emphasized was the importance of rapidly reusable orbital class rockets, calling them the holy grail of rocketry. Another thing that he brought up was the importance of scale of the rocket. He said, the smaller of the percentage taken up of the mass by the avionics, the better. This is something new that we haven't heard before. The final thing being that he mentioned the reason for the full flow stage combustion engine and why it was so important. This reason was that it provides the highest propellant weight to momentum output of any rocket engine. Some dates were also announced during the presentation for the human landing system, the orbital test flight, and for full orbital capability. Elon said they were hoping to have the orbital test flight happening in January 2022. Another thing he mentioned was they hope to have full orbital capability by 2023. He also mentioned the human landing system Starship will attempt 2 or 3 landings before they put any crew on board. These dates are big news since they don't have the FAA launch license yet, and we are expecting to see the launch license issued by December 31st, 2021. Some more statistics given were about the booster. The booster currently has 27 Raptor engines, which Musk said will be expanding to 33 soon. The 27 Raptor engines will provide 77,000 kilograms of thrust. That comes out to being able to lift around 750 kilograms total, not including the mass of the rocket itself or the mass of the propellant. Just to be clear, this is not the amount it would be able to launch to orbit, just the amount that the 27 Raptors would be able to lift off the pad. At maximum load, Starship will only be able to lift 100 tons to low Earth orbit, or orbit not much higher than the International Space Stations. The way Starship will work is, if it can get something into low Earth orbit, it can get it anywhere in the solar system using enough refuel missions. But that would require a specialized Starship that doesn't have a heat shield or flaps. As most things are in the space world, these are just goals, and they aren't set in stone and can change at a moment's notice. Because of this, you should take them with just a grain of salt. For the time being, these goals with most SpaceX dates are set in Elon time, which tends to be about a month or 2 faster than real time. If Elon's prediction is correct, we could see an orbital test flight in January 2022. If not, we would probably see the test in the first quarter of 2022. Another thing is that we are unsure of how many identical orbital test flights there will need to be, because they would need to have enough flight tests to be able to attempt a landing at Starbase, which they would have to get enough FAA test flights where they would be permitted to fly over populated area. Another thing is that they have to be able to test the booster catching mechanism, and this could set the program back by a few months if the test fails and it destroys either the chopstick arms, the cables that control them, or the tower itself. If the tower is destroyed, the program could be set back by at least 2 months, and that's a best case scenario. With this in mind, the 2023 goal for full operation is feasible but would require a much quicker test campaign. For this goal to be met, they will have to cut down on the time from rollout to launch. The current timeline with BS-420 will not work if they want to have enough launches to be fully operational in under a year from the orbital test flight. For the time being, all we can do is speculate and watch their progress. This is all we have found out from the presentation, and we will keep you updated as the test campaign progresses.